Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's gonna join us today. Had to have a little typical technical difficulties here, so bear with me. I apologize for being a couple minutes late here. Had to restart my phone because it decided it wasn't going to cooperate. So, of course, it wouldn't be Stampin' Sundays with Katrina if we didn't have technical difficulties, right? That is our norm. And we went back to winter after we had our little fake spring that we really enjoyed last week. We got snow, and today it's just been kind of a gloomy, icky day, but it is still daylight. So we are live and we have daylight. So this is good, right? We're going to go with it. All right, we're going to share with our groups real quick. So bear with me, and then we are going to get started. So let me find... There we are. Let's see. Yes, we are live. There it is. No, that is not it. Where is it? There it is. Okay, we are live. Got a little nervous there. So we want groups and VIP and our creative hearts. All right. If you are here, please go ahead, say hello. Love to know who's out there hanging out with us. And through my plates on the floor. Ugh. Once again, wouldn't be Stampin' Sundays without some of the stuff going on. Okay. Real quick housekeeping things. Paper Pumpkin, we are now into the April subscription period. So you have from now till April 10th. And that one is the Lakeside Retreat box. It's going to show your appreciation for the men in your life with cards inspired by tranquil waterside scenes. You're going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. You'll receive pre-cut paper pieces and enamel pebble embellishments. The stamp set is tailored to male recipients, and the coordinating colors will be Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Peaceful Pine, which is a new in color coming in May, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. And the Stampin' spot will be the Peaceful Pine. So if you like greens, that's going to be one of your new favorite colors. Well, hey, sis. It's going to coordinate with the Waterside Retreat Suite collection, which must be something new coming out that we have not seen yet, because Waterside Retreat Suite doesn't sound familiar to me right now. But anyway, it will coordinate with these new dies. These are an add-on, again, around $12. They're the beautiful Blooms dies, and they are for subscribers only. Just a reminder that the April kit does kick off the price increase for Paper Pumpkin, and that is now going to be pay as you go, $29 per kit. And then the prepay, the 3-month will be $87, 6-month subscription $174, and a 12-month subscription will be $348. We did release 3 new kits this month. I don't have the names of them, but they are more of an art type kit where you put these little things, plaques. Wow, I cannot speak. Hey, Sherry. You put these little plaques together, and then they coordinate with the 3rd kit, which is the 3 clipboards. So the wood clipboards, you get 2 large and a small, and then these would clip for your display. Oh, hey, Arlene. So happy to see you come popping in there. Then, of course, we have the Notes of Spring, which is our March product of the month. That you place a $75 order, you can add this exclusive stamp set on for $5. So again, you get this for $5, and it has all of these really adorable stamps. You have the little fawn, the goose, and a bunny. You get the little it's like a grass or maybe cattails. It's hard to tell in the picture here. And then you get the sentiments, especially for you, a little note of thanks, and happiest birthday wishes. So again, just a really sweet kit. And then just a quick reminder of the online exclusives that did drop for March. We did get quite a few of them. And they're just really, really sweet. And in order to see those, you're not going to see them in any publication. You do have to go online to look at the online exclusives. All right. So tonight, I pulled out an oldie but goodie. It is still available, but I'm afraid in April we'll see it on our last chance list, or actually the end of this month we'll see it on our last chance list. Tomorrow, demonstrators who did not go to the onstage event in Southern California to South Beach, I did not get to go. That was this past week. Actually, everybody's headed home, I think today. Yesterday was the last day of it. They got their new catalogs while they were there. For those of us that didn't go, we get to see it tomorrow online. So I am looking forward to that. And what that will mean, we'll see the last chance list of what's going away between the online exclusives that just recently came out, as well as the annual catalog and our January to May catalog. We are moving to a 3 catalog system instead of having the annual catalog that goes all year and then having the 2 minis. We're just going to have 3 main catalogs, and they will come out 3 times a year, and we'll only be working out of 1 catalog plus our online exclusives. So with that said, those of you who have been with me a while and you're in my mailing list, your catalogs will be coming to you probably about mid-April, I would say. You'll start seeing them because I did give them to Stampin' Up! Everybody that I was sending catalogs to. I did complete that order this past week. So you'll be seeing those. Also, I did announce this morning, I did put out, I do have a class posting that I'll be shipping out on the 27th of the month. That you have from now until the 23rd. I think I closed it on the 23rd. It is the beautiful Words of Beauty card class. You're going to make 4 cards with that. It is $45. Like I said, all the details are in the post that I put on Facebook, as well as if you're on my email list, you got all the details on that. So that's going to be a really awesome class if you're interested. All right, so we are on to the Faith Collection. As I was saying, this is an oldie but a goodie, and I'm afraid it's been around a little while, so I'm afraid it will probably end up on the last chance list. So this is the time to grab it. I do believe the stamp set is not available right this minute, but you can put your email address in and they will notify you when it becomes available. Dies are currently available. So the stamp sets don't take too long for them to get back in, so I don't think it'll be very long for us to see that. Okay, so this is what we are making our cards in our project. I do have 2 cards. So I have this one here. It is a fun fold. I will tell you, this fun fold I did get from Connie Stewart. I pretty much copied her card, except for, again, I changed up what I'm using as far as stamp sets, but I used the same paper because I love this paper. And again, it is currently on the last chance. So if you love this paper as much as I do, you're going to need to grab it right now before it's gone. And I used the same thing on this card. We have God is Love. These are perfect cards to use for Easter season. So we have He is Risen and God is Love. And then I love making the little Easter baskets last week, so I did another little candy basket using this. So, and it sits perfectly just like so. And you have your little chocolates in there or whatever kind of candy you like. So we'll be making that. All right. So we're going to start with our fun fold card. So this is the card we're going to make. And I'm going to grab what we need here. So I have all my parts and pieces. We're just going to pull all of it out. And we'll set that there. All right, let's get this out of the way. We need the dies to stay close. All right, so we're going to start with Pretty Peacock. And this measures 8 inches by 5.5. So it's a little bit different than your standard card base. So again, it's 8 inches, 5.5. And I did score it at a 1/2 inch and 3 3/4 inch. So we're going to go ahead, get our bone folder, and we're going to go and fold on our score lines. And this one, we're just going to fold back. So that's the beginning of our card base. All right. Then I have another piece of the Pretty Peacock. This is 4 inches by 4 inches. And we scored the one edge at a 1/2. So that's a 1/2 inch score line. We're going to again fold on that score line. So now we're going to bring in our tear and tape. So the first thing we're going to do is on the inside of this score, we're going to add our tape. Now I do like to take my bone folder and burnish that down to make sure our tape is nice and adhered there. So there's that. Oh, let's get this. Okay. Then for this, we're going to add some tear and tape on the outside here. So we're just going to put that down. And again, burnish it down to make sure it adheres well. Okay. We're going to bring in our Take Your Pick tool. And we're going to go ahead and peel this backing up. This one, we're going to fold that closed. And this is going to line up with this edge here. Sometimes it's easier. We want to get it in the center. I'll bring that right about there. Looks pretty good. This is also a good place to use that bone folder to make sure that it adheres nicely. So now we have the start of our card. Next, we have some designer paper, and I'm using, this is called the Everyday Happiness. And again, like I said, this is on the current last chance. And it's a really pretty paper. I love this check. And then we have the floral. And we have this pattern. And then on the back, we have like this watercolor wash. We have these watercolor stripes with the vines and dots. Some of my favorites. Oh, hey, Sue. So I do love this paper. As a matter of fact, I have another whole pack that hasn't even been opened yet because I love it so much. All right. So I have 2 pieces of the designer paper that measure 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And we need our adhesive. And we're going to center this on this here panel. And we're going to open it. All right. So that goes like so. And then on this panel, we have 5 1/4 by 3 DSP. We have 2 pieces. So for this, we're going to center on this here panel. Sounds like the wind is picking up again out there. We had a lot of wicked wind yesterday, and now it sounds like it's back again. All right, now we can go ahead and peel the backing off on this piece of the tear tape. And then this just folds down like so. And then once again, grab that bone folder and burnish that down. Like so. All right. And then for this inside, we have another panel that's 3 inches by 5 1/4 DSP. And that goes in like so. And then for here, we have a piece of basic white. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, hi, Diane from Wyoming. Awesome. We are here in New York, northern New York. And like I said, we had a fake spring. And I guess tomorrow's going to be fake spring again. We're going to have like 60-degree weather. And then Tuesday, we're going to go back to Arctic winter at like 20 degrees or something crazy. Mother Nature is schizophrenic right now in New York State, which typically this time of year, it usually is pretty schizophrenic. She can't decide if she's giving up winter or allowing spring to come to fruition. Okay, there we go. So now we have our basics of our card. So there, we're going to set aside for now. Next, I have a piece of Pretty Peacock. I have a scrap of basic white, and I did bring in, these are the Scalloped Wishes dies. It's part of a bundle that just came out in the March online exclusives. But I'm going to use this here scalloped oval to cut out the Pretty Peacock. And then I'm going to use the smaller piece to cut out our white. So we're just going to set these aside for a minute. And we need our baby boss. So we're going to put our little scalloped oval on there. And then run this through. All right. Okay, we'll set that aside. And I'm just going to clean off my plate. All right, so we're going to set that back. And then we're going to bring in the basic white. And that little die. And we're going to run this through. And you know, while we have the baby boss here, let's set that there. And set those there for now. Let's go ahead. I have here 2 scraps of crumb cake. One is going to, we don't want to lose that cross. We need that. We're going to run this cross. And we want the wooden cross. Okay. Set that aside. All right. So now we're going to take your pick tool and we're going to finish cleaning out these little shards here. There we go. All right. So then I'm going to take a little glue. we're just going to add just adding it to these little bit of wider areas. There we go. Take this. Hold that down for a minute, and then I actually just going to bring in a block just to hold it for a second. And then we want to add this back in there, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little glue to that. Try to get this in there straight. This is, there we go. And then let's go ahead and get our little wooden cross poked out of the die. There we go. Then we're going to go through and again poke these out. Which takes a minute, but it's not too long. Probably be quicker if I found but this is so delicate. I'm afraid to use the brush attachment to the take your pick tool only because I'm afraid it would tear these fine little pieces of paper. They're very thin. Let's get all these out. There we go. So now we have one more here that needs to. There we go. All right. So we're going to do the same thing. Bring in our liquid adhesive. Oop, there's one. And actually, I think the easiest thing we can do with this one is we're going to bring in a trap. And I have one of my little silicone brushes here. And we're just going to make a little pile of glue right there. And then take this and attach. And we set that aside. That'll dry, and then we can just peel the glue right off of it. Okay. So now I'm going to take some dimensionals. And that goes in the center like so. And then we have our little cross here. And I'm going to put one there in the middle. And one here at the bottom. So there's our cross. And now I need the sentiment, He is risen. And just a little scrap here. And I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. He is risen. And you don't need much paper at all, but that was the scrap I happened to have handy. Close this up. And then we're going to use our triple or 3 banner punch. And we're going to use that first one. Try to get it centered and straight. He is risen. And I think I did. I went backwards. I wanted it that way. That's okay. We already got it punched. We're just going to go and grab our... Let's do it again. There we are. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right. And then all I'm going to do is add a little adhesive there. And then we need our little rhinestones, because of course we got to have bling. And that finishes our first card. So again, basic card design I did take from Connie Stewart. I would definitely recommend going over to her site and seeing her card that she did with this. She used a completely different stamp set to make her card, but I love this card fold. I thought it was great. So, all right. I think her site is simply simple stamping. I get a little tongue tied with that one, but yeah. All right. Next card. Another really super simple card to make, but again, using this same stamp set, same designer series paper. And we have, for this one, a thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to go ahead, fold on those score lines. Make sure everything is lined up and straight. And burnish that out. All right. So the designer paper, that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And that is going to layer right on the front of our card. So we're just going to go ahead. Oop. Place that on the center of our card base. There we are. Next, I have some scraps here. I have some crushed curry and basic white. So for the crushed curry, we're going to use this large oval to cut that out. And we're going to do some stamping on the white one. So for this, I need, start with this one here. And for that, we're going to use our Lost Lagoon. Ink that up. All right. So let's do this down here. There is our little sprig for our cross. Thank you, Miss Sue. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this stamp off real quick. And we need the pecan pie. And for that, we are going to do our solid cross here. And then we're going to stamp way over here. Make sure we put enough pressure on it. Let all that ink transfer. And there we go. We have a good impression. Close that up. Clean off the stamp again. All right. So let's see what I do with that. Oop. There's that. And this. So we need our tear or post-it tape. Let's get this all lined up. Okay. Looks pretty decent. I can get the tape off my finger now. Ah. There we go. And then we're going to line this one up. Looks pretty good. And then we're going to cut out the crushed curry. All right, so we're going to bring back our baby boss. Roll those through. Set this aside. And then we're going to roll out our oval piece here. From the crushed curry. Oop. Try to get in there straight. There we go. All right. Those are now all set. Now we can bring back our card base. And then we're going to take our crushed curry oval. And I'm just going to add a couple of dimensionals, or maybe 4. Okay. Let's get that straight. All right, so that goes right there in the center of our card, like so. Now we're going to go ahead, pop these out. So there's that piece. And then we need our cross. We're saving this because we're going to need that for our sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and again, using our dimensionals, I'm going to add a couple to this piece that has our Lost Lagoon greenery. That goes right in the center. And then we're going to take our cross. Again, a couple of dimensionals, one right there in the center and one down below here. Peel off those backings. And this goes right in that space to cover that area. So now you have your cross. All right, so now I need my stamp that says God is love. And we're going to again bring in that Lost Lagoon. ink. God is Love in Lost Lagoon. And we're going to stamp it just here on the edge of our scrap from all our die cutting. And we'll close that up. Clean off the stamp. And again, bringing in that 3 banner punch. We're going to use that top. No, the bottom one. So we're going to go all the way in. Get that in there straight. Get a few extra little pieces in there that are going to go right into our trash bin. And now we have our little piece here that says God is Love. Perfect for Easter. And again, just adding a little adhesive across the middle with my tape runner. And we're just going to attach that onto our cross, running across like that. And then, again, more of our beautiful little rhinestones. And we do not get stingy with the rhinestones. Like so. And that completes our second card. Quick and easy, but beautiful. Okay. Final coming up. This is our little basket for our chocolate. And again, this makes for a really cute party favor. It's your Easter table, little place settings. Again, you could put little chocolates in there, mints. If you're into peeps, feel free to stick a peep in there. You probably could fit 1 or 2. I'm not a fan, but to each their own. All right, so for this little basket, I have basically, to keep things moving along, I did go ahead and I cut out both of my ovals. And again, it was just using that same large oval that I used on the crushed curry for the last project. So it's just 2 of those. I have a scrap for doing my stamping and die cutting. And then I have my little basket piece. This measures 4 inches by 3.5. And on the with the 4-inch side at the top of your trimmer, you're going to score at 1 inch and 3 inch. And then when you are turned to the 3-inch or 3.25, 3.5 inch, you're going to score at 1 and 2.5. Then you need your snips. There they are. Way up there. So you're going to, before we take our snips though, let's go ahead. We're going to fold on all of our score lines and use our bone folder to give us nice, crisp edges. There you go. Then from the shorter end, here you're going to trim right up the score line to the next score line. So right where they intersect is where you stop. Like so. Bring back that glue. Pull them in. Just like that. I just want to hold them for a second to make sure everything holds. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just tabs. Pull that up, pull those in. Make sure everything squares up and hold. Just gonna close up my glue. Okay. Once everything is nice and adhered, I'll set that aside for a few minutes. And we're going to bring in our scrap piece here and yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to bring in, got my pecan pie and I got my solid cross here. And we're just going to stamp our solid cross right here. Like so. Close this up. Next, I need, there it is, memento. Sort of black ink. I was excited. I was watching, kind of stalking Facebook this weekend for the Stampin' Up! On Stage stuff, and I did see sneak peeks of things, and one of them was a new black ink pad coming our way from Stampin' Up! It's a hybrid ink pad. So I'm excited to see if that's going to be one that we will use with our Stampin' blends. A lot of times the hybrids will work. And we're going to stamp that flower twice. Okay. So we're going to cover that up. And while that dries for a minute, because I'm using a light, the lemon lolly to color them, I'm going to go ahead and do I'm only doing one side. You can certainly decorate both sides. I'm only decorating the one side. But if you want to recreate these and do both sides, I say go for it. But I'm just doing the one. All right, so now I have my oval, and I'm stamping in Garden Green. I guess these would be palm fronds, like you would get at Palm Sunday. That's what I believe those are supposed to be. Coming out from around at the cross. Okay, so there is our first oval there. All right, and now I'm going to bring in my Lemon Lolly Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to start with the dark. And the dark, I'm just going to kind of get around the base here where the petals kind of tend to overlap. I'm just adding the dark. Then I'm going to take the light and just fill them in. I love yellow lilies. Probably yellow daylilies are one of my favorite flowers. Okay, so there's those. Now, where did I leave? Here's the die for these. And we need the cross again. Trying to get that straightened up out here. There we go. And we'll need the baby boss. And our plates. Run this through. Now, just a reminder to everybody too, if you are not currently on my mailing list, you will want to make sure you are on my mailing list, because every week on Monday following our Stampin' Sundays, I do send out the PDF with the instructions for these cards every week. So if you like getting the instructions in your inbox, you can also head over to my blog and download them there as well. But it's always good to be on the mailing list, because you're also the first to know about any classes coming up. My friend Cindy and I try to do a class a month. If you're on my team, you will receive the PDF for that class as well as a free benefit of being on my team, because of course it's fun to get those kinds of goodies. All right. We are cruising right along here. All right, so now we have all of our parts and our pieces here for our little box or basket. So now we're going to take our cross and we're going to add it to our oval here. And again, we're going to use a couple of dimensionals. Big Tucker, here's the wind. He's down there. Hopefully he's not creating havoc for you guys on here. Coughing. Or coughing. Husband's coughing. Tucker's barking. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so there's our cross. So now we're going to add our flowers. So again, we're going to flip those over. We're going to add a couple of dimensionals. One to each. Oop, goodness. Flower center. There we go. And then peel the backings. This one's going to kind of tuck in there. And this one will tuck into that corner. Yeah. There we go. So one in each of those corners there. That one isn't laying quite. There we go. That's better. All right. So now we're going to bring back our little box here. And I need more of that tear and tape. As I'm throwing things around. Okay. So now we're going to take our tear and tape. And on each side here, we're going to there we go. Flip it over. And on the other side. All right, Sherry, thank you. I will definitely do that. All right, and I like to take my bone folder and from the inside, just press those tape into the cardstock so that when I go to lift the backing paper, it stays adhered to the cardstock. All right, so there's that. So now we're going to take our front piece with our image, and that goes down just like that. Now you could leave it just like that, but it has like a little slant to it because it kind of falls back. But that's fine. You could do that. But we're going to add the second oval to the back here. So we're going to go ahead, pull that up. And I'm going to show you a little trick because it did, when I first did this, I discovered it kind of wouldn't stand straight, but we fixed it. So again, we're just going to have that hang down about the same. See, now it kind of, it tilts once you put the back on it. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to trim off those three little oh, this is still a little crooked. There we go. So now it stands up straight. We can add our candy in it. Well, now there we go. So then to finish it, we're going to bring back our take your pick tool and our little gems here. We're going to pull those candies out because otherwise they're going to go rolling all over the place. Right in the center of our flowers. like so. And that completes our project for tonight. But I love these little baskets. I think these ones are pretty cute. I know our Easter baskets from last week were stinking cute. But this is just another treat you could add to your Easter table. Love them. Okay, so which is your favorite? The Easter basket or the cross? Well, thank you, Sherry. All right, real quick recap. So we have our little Easter treat table favors. And then we had God is love. And then he is risen, special little fun fold. Let's get these in here so you can actually see them. I'll lay that one down. I love the cross too. I have to agree. Well, that's all I have for you tonight, guys. Again, as always, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me and making my Sunday. I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you each week coming to spend your time with me. And of course, I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I'll be back next week with hopefully some more fun projects to share with you. All right, guys, again, as always, have a fabulous evening, and I will see everyone soon. Bye for now.